Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we are going to be talking about something one of the questions that I have seen that someone has been asked when it comes to biomedical scientist job interview in microbiology. So before we continue, my name is Dr. Emmanuel Ogbodo. I'm a biomedical scientist and I'm also a lecturer in biomedical science here in the United Kingdom. Now let us look at the question that this person has been asked. The person was asked, what gram-positive diplococci will you see in a child CSF? What gram-positive diplococci will you see in a child CSF? Okay, so let us look at a little background about this. It is important we ask ourselves, what exactly is CSF? So CSF means cerebrospinal fluid. I hope we are aware that this fluid is a clear colorless watery fluid that flows around brain and spinal cord. So it runs between brain and spinal cord and it connects everything that we do in terms of human activity. So it controls and connects activities of the body. So it regulates a lot of things. So if anything is wrong with this CSF, it can result to a number of abnormalities. There is something else I would like to mention here regarding the word diplococci. So when we talk about cocci, we are actually looking at maybe a single cell of bacteria, I would say. So when we say diplococci, that means there is a kind of connection between each of these very cells, as the case may be. So we're going to look at that in more details. Now let's look at the answers first of all. So the question that there is something here, it has to do in a child. So remember, it is in a child. Now, gram-positive diplococci typically indicative of what? Streptococcus pneumoniae. So when it comes to children, when you look at diplococci, remember I've told you that cocci talks about a single cell of the bacteria. Now, when you say diplococci, there is more than one cell, but it depends on how they are connecting. Okay, so when they are connecting, they can connect in a strep form. Remember, there's a difference between staphylococcus and streptococcus, as we are seeing here. So when you say staphylococcus, the staph aspect of it, when you hear the word staph, it means that it is in bunch form. That means the cocci is in bunch form. So this streptococci means it is more than one cocci, more than one cell, but not in bunch form. So if it is more than one cell, which is a cocci, if it is more than one cell, and it is in bunch form, then you can call it staphylococcus. But now, because it is not in a bunch form, it is like in a straight connected form, that is called streptococcus. So that streptococcus pneumoniae is a typical indication of diplococci that can be seen in children. I hope that makes sense. So that kind of answered the question anyway. So what are the common causes? It has to do with the meninges, which is also around the lining, okay, of the brain and the spinal cord. So meaning, if that is infected by any of these cocci, by diplococci like streptococcus here, okay, that can affect the child. So it is mainly associated with the meninges in children, which means that the meninges has been contaminated or has been infected with what? This diplococci, which for children mainly, it can be streptococcus pneumoniae. That's actually the question. Now let's look at the appearance. So the appearance of these very diplococci is going to be lancet-shaped diplococci under the microscope, okay, and we can identify by doing a gram stain. Remember that when we do gram stain, what gram stain does is try to differentiate gram-positive organism from gram-negative organism. Anyway, with a because of streptococcus is a gram-positive organism. So because it's a gram-positive organism, it's going to retain the crystal violet stain appearing purple in color. Okay, now remember that gram staining as well can show you gram-negative organisms like maybe E. coli, and so many of them. But for this question, is streptococcus that is mainly associated in children that have this CSF problem. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so the diplococci here is streptococcus pneumoniae, which is commonly associated in children with meningitis. Okay, now we are going to try to learn more foundation regarding the answer, just to give you a clear picture. So if you look at that, you can see the cocci here. So if you look at this, you can see there is cocci here. So you can, just 1 minute. So you can see that these are cocci, but these cocci, they are not single. If you look at this, so you can, if you look at it, there's a difference between this and this, and there's a difference between this and maybe this. There's a difference between this and this. So you can see why there is a single cocci, but then you can see there are some cocci that have connected to each other. So when they connect themselves like this, as you can see it in straight form, not in bunch form, okay, as you can see, it's called Streptococcus. Does that make sense? So that is what I mean when I say Streptococcus pneumonia. Now, this is also another example of what you can see here again. That's the color we are talking about that it returns. So when you see something like this, it's a strong indication that this is Streptococcus, and that can be Streptococcus pneumonia, which is commonly associated in children. I hope that makes sense. Yeah. Now, let us look at a conclusion. Let us look at the conclusion aspect of this. First of all, we need to know that Streptococcus pneumonia, okay, is a significant pathogen in pediatric cases, meaning that is commonly associated with children, and this can be commonly seen as bacterial meningitis, meaning that this meninges has been infected by bacteria, for example here like Streptococcus. I hope that makes sense. So don't forget that the Diplococci that we are talking about here is Streptococcus pneumonia, because the question wants you to find out which Diplococci can you see in children. So the Diplococci we are talking about here is Streptococcus pneumonia, which can be common in children. Maybe that has infected the meninges, okay, leading to meningitis in children. I hope that makes sense. So the appearance on the CSF require prompt medical intervention. So once such a thing is seen, it is a strong indication that there is a problem, and what it means that needs to be investigated so that that child will not suffer, maybe possibly lead to deformity, and you don't want that to happen. Remember that when you talk about the CSF or meninges, all of these are connected. They are kind of your central nervous system, so they are all connected to the communication of everything that happens in the body. So whatever way a human being is feeling, whichever way someone is reacting, everything is connected, and the whole messages passes from that spinal cord to the brain, and brain will interpret it. Therefore, if anything around that area is infected, it can lead to a number of abnormalities, which can corrupt the central nervous system, and that can lead to a number of abnormalities. And that is why once such a thing appears, it requires a prompt medical intervention to make sure that is taken care of. I hope that makes sense. Okay, anyway, thank you for listening. I hope you did enjoy that. Please, can I ask you to subscribe, share, like, and comment? Thank you. And please, if you don't mind, I have also made a video regarding the fellowship that I'm running online. Please, if you're interested, I'm going to put up the message. I'm going to put up the video. You can see it up there. So please do listen to the video and let me know if it is something you will be happy to join me to labor to see that the word of God prevail in this nation. Please, I'll be looking forward to get your messages on WhatsApp. You will see the number there, and of course, or your email. Anyway, till I come back away again, thank you very much. Bye-bye.